Tensions between Vader and Sidious were constantly on the rise. Vader started losing faith in his master right from the start when he failed to save Padme Amidala, which is a big factor in Darth Vader becoming a Sith. He was left being deceived and lied to. Once Vader chose his path, now it was scorched earth. Everybody was destroyed to achieve his ultimate goal and the goal of his master, creating a new empire. But one would assume that the lies did not stop. Sidious would always be a clever weasel, trying to slither away from the truth. His dishonesty would go to such a length that you will clearly see Sidious jokingly, quote-unquote, talk to Vader about how he was searching for a new apprentice. It is talk like this that made Sidious relentless in pursuit of more power. He would cheat his way and lie his way to his ultimate goal. And after Vader tried his best to resurrect his now dead wife on Mustafar, he was left with no choice but to contact his master on Coruscant. Vader immediately contacted his master. Sidious was surprised to hear from him. In fact, it had been so long that he had heard from Vader, he definitely thought that his apprentice was long gone and didn't survive. He was on the verge of searching for a new apprentice. "No, Master," said Vader, "he still remains alive." Well, from the looks of Vader, Sidious summarized that his search for knowledge on Mustafar must have been quite challenging. "That's good," said Sidious. Since it was challenging, then Vader probably learned something of value. Vader didn't respond. The lesson was clear in his mind. Let the past die. It was as simple as that. Padme was dead, and nothing will ever bring her back again. She was dead, but for all of this tragedy, one person was personally responsible. Now, us, the audience, we know this, of course. We have seen Palpatine's lies and manipulations, but right at that moment, Sidious goes on to tell Vader something very interesting. A confession of sorts. He masked it as advice. Sidious went on to say, "Believe me when I tell you
ironic
that this galaxy is built on lies. Finding even one truth in it, well, nothing is more difficult." To me, this definitely screams confession by Sidious, him smirkingly looking at Vader, knowing what he had done to him. To give these lines context, I want you guys and me together to deconstruct these words. So, this galaxy is built on lies. Sidious is trying to insinuate to Vader that the galaxy was corrupted by the lies of the Jedi, but in reality, Vader knew by now whose lies were building this now new galaxy. It was Palpatine's lies who elected him Chancellor. It was Palpatine's lies who turned the Republic against the Jedi. It was Palpatine's lies who ultimately killed Padme and left Vader without love and hope. He had put Vader in such a helpless position that all he had left was hate, regret, and anger. Sidious continues, and the second line is, "Finding even one true thing, meaning in the galaxy, nothing is more difficult." Now that's a clear representation of his character. His lies are so woven into the fabric of his persona and the Empire itself that finding one truth from Sidious is close to impossible. Everything he achieved was built on lies. This is a clear-cut confession from the Dark Lord of the Sith. Vader wasn't stupid. He already knew everything that Sidious had done and possibly what he'll do next. But as I said, it was already too late. Palpatine had trapped him with his lies. All that remained was the hope that one day this entire empire will be his. Once he finally would kill his biggest enemy left, Darth Sidious. As you can clearly see, it never really stopped with Sidious, Palpatine or Palpatine, whichever. Even his name was at the precipice of a lie, and you would never get the real pulse of Emperor Palpatine, the man that would go on to live for decades more after he was thought to be dead. What also can be talked about is the rare occurrence of this, as Darth Vader feared Sidious much more than he let on. But I think think it's more about respect. Anakin did not fear anything or anybody, but once he realized the cunning and the pragmatism of Darth Sidious, as we've talked about in a previous video, the moment Anakin Skywalker became Darth Vader and went to Mustafar to eliminate the Confederate leaders, only then he realized what Palpatine had actually done behind the scenes, and that is when it dawned on him what kind of a supernatural being Palpatine really was. It was not just being a Sith Lord, it was something much more. A brain that could manipulate an entire galaxy of leaders in one swift stroke and eliminate anybody he wanted. With one move, Palpatine eliminated not only the Separatist leaders, but also the Jedi Order. That was something unfathomable before to Anakin or Darth Vader. Something that he needed to learn, and that's what I think he started looking at, is Sidious's mind. In some sense, Darth Vader remembered everything that went wrong with Anakin during those moments when he watched this person burn in lava. I think in the audience eyes, Anakin was ultimately a good person, but went about it in every possible wrong direction. Anakin's ultimate failure was, ironically, ultimate loyalty. You see, Anakin had no problem to watch the world burn if it meant he would save someone from death, especially the ones he loved, like his mother and Padme. When he couldn't save either of them, he simply went on a destructive path. He wanted more power in order to achieve that, and somewhere along the way, he got completely lost and became an amalgamation, a monster who was half man, half machine. Anakin felt like nothing in his life really helped him in the end. The Jedi did not know how to deal with him as a powerful person and locked away any secrets and knowledge due to mistrust, basically. You see, Anakin wasn't raised in the way of life of the Jedi. They took in babies and very early younglings to train them not only in combat but in thought as well. The Jedi would purge any jealousy or hatred that you had and raise you to only seek justice and be a protector of the galaxy. Selfless and good, which is enshrined in the Jedi Code. But all of this went out of the window when they told Anakin that he might be the chosen one. The enormous amount of pressure bestowed upon Anakin was such that nobody could really handle it, especially not a confused former slave as a kid not knowing what his goal is in life ultimately. What did you guys think of Sidious's confession though? Tell us down below in the comments, and if you enjoy, guys, leave a thumbs up and hit that bell to get notified the moment a new video is up. Have an awesome day, my Star Wars friends, and may the Force be with you always.